We just want to say this is a neighborhood meeting for the Bryant Park Neighborhood Association. Our focus is really to talk about what affects our neighborhood, which is the existing Gulfstream Hotel and the immediate adjacent properties. If Steve wants to talk about anything more than that, that's optional for him, but we do not want to drag this meeting out. We also have to be aware we need to be quiet in the room. We have a little bit of an issue with all the noise from your conversations coming up here and us not being able to hear. So if we're having a problem with that, we might have to interrupt for during the question and answer period. But we want to thank Steve for showing up. We thank him a lot. It was hard to get him here because of the schedule, but he's here and it's your turn.
Thank you. Finally, I get to speak in front of my neighborhood association. My name is Steve Michael. I'm one of the principals of Hudson Holdings. We're a multi-use development firm. We're located in Delray Beach, so we're local. We focus on historic projects all over the country. A lot of adaptive reuse, hotels. We generally have a hospitality element in all of our developments around the country. We do really focus on bringing back adaptive reuse of beautiful landmark historic buildings, and that's been our focus for a long time, going back to my roots in Chicago, which is full of historic buildings that are adaptive reuse opportunities. So I'm here to speak a little bit about the Gulfstream and what our plans are, what we've done to date, and where we are. So as you know, we're in the planning stage for the existing Gulfstream Hotel and that renovation program. And that's an total exterior renovation to bring it back to its original quality and luster. We are doing a total internal renovation, leaving, just to point out, we do this all over the country, we do this quite a bit. Our historic projects always involve keeping the National Historic Register and getting the tax credit with the federal government, the National Preservation Trust in Washington. So we follow the guidelines that is very prescriptive in all of our renovations of historic properties. We have, in every state that we operate, historic consultants that help us through the process of meeting those requirements. And in the Gulfstream, we're especially critical about meeting and exceeding any of the historic renovation criteria that we need to meet the National Park Services and Historic Preservation Trust in Washington's guidelines. That means keep bringing back the lobbies and the common areas and the mezzanine levels back to as close as possible to every original detail that was in the hotel when the hotel was built. We keep all the hallways intact and all the floors, and the integrity of the hallways remain. The height of the clay blocks that are within the structure, and we're doing a renovation package as an adaptive reuse, bringing this hotel concept back to today's standards. Means we're going to take a 114-room hotel, which it was originally built as, and probably bring it down to about 90 rooms. We plan to, every hotel that we build, and we operate them, we manage them, we operate the restaurants. We're long-term investors in it, and we do not sell many of our assets. Over the last 30 years, it has been 2 or 3 times that I remember actually selling assets. So we're long-term investors. We're hopefully in every city that we do bring preservation and some sort of adaptive reuse. We're an economic boost and an economic driver to the city, to the area, whether it's in Lake Worth, whether it's in Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio, or Memphis. We are always trying to be a good partner with the community, and also a great economic driver, and a boost to the next generation of development that hopefully it just enhances the lifestyle. So we intend to design and operate our own restaurant on the first floor. We're going to expand the restaurant somewhat because we are building a amenity deck that will, if you notice, we demoed the pool structures in the back, and we will build that back up to the mezzanine level. And below that, we're going to build a brand new kitchen. Back in the house, we'll have some meeting space. And then in the restaurant itself, we'll expand into the current kitchen. So we'll have a little bit more larger restaurant. We're still designing the concept for the bar area it's on the west side of the front of the hotel. And we're designing some sort of rooftop lounge where people can also come and drink drinks upstairs on the rooftop and have a nice setting, nice views. And they can see the water from 3 different directions. And we are designing some hotel, we're still working on the designs, for the lots that are to the west of the hotel, the Gulfstream, the existing Gulfstream. And behind it, we'll build a structured garage that will serve as parking for both hotels and for retail. If we put the retail on the front of right on Lake Avenue. We do have we are designing a health club. It's a public health club that will be inside the new structure, and hopefully that will also be able to bring the public in more involved. The whole concept of this is also any hotel we do is a full service, high-end hotel. We're always trying to make it a public gathering place. And this is a best example for us to create something that's special. It's a public gathering space. Lake Worth has an amazing amount of assets. We've made a substantial investment and commitment to Lake Worth that we want to see follow through, and we want to see it done properly and in partnership with the community. And I see nothing but opportunities beyond this. Once we get this built, once we get it open, once we get it operating, we've outreached a lot. Maybe some of you have discussed with our staff, sending us photos, sending us anything any experiences that you've had in the past. I've had in the past, as I've been living here for 14 years. I've also experienced the Gulfstream. I've also experienced a restaurant. And to me, it's very important for us that we get participation from the community, and hopefully we'll always be a partner to the community. And we're looking to really bring back the memories and bring back this as a landmark hotel with great management, great operation. We're looking, we're discussing with very high-end hotel flags that may or may not work with us, but we'll keep the Gulfstream name. If we have some sort of reservation driver from one of the big hotel chains, then that's something that we can just add a little more value to it. That's really sort of the design. The background, again, we're currently building 6 hotels around the country, total about 1,100 rooms. All but one is in National Historic Register buildings that range anywhere from 350 hotel rooms to 120 hotel rooms. It's something that and most of those projects, we also add a residential element and some sort of office and retail element. In all of them, we operate the hotels, we operate the restaurants, we operate any of the operations of the hotel, whether it's bars or gift shops. So we are very hands-on. You'll see us all the time. You'll see us all the time during the development, but you'll also see us all the time as the hotel is operational. And we'll be here operating it, we'll be here in the community, we'll be a partner to everybody. We look very forward to this. This is personally, our most special project, and we look at this as our hometown. So, I'd like to I know Bryant Park is the one that we just haven't been able to get together for a meeting. I'd love to get any input, any sort of questions you may have regarding the hotel or the development.
Approximately how many people will it employ?
well, it'll play hundreds of people. This is a great economic driver. It's a very good point. We will not only be an economic driver from a sales tax perspective, from a hotel tax perspective, and a big economic driver to the current businesses in downtown Leavenworth. We'll be a big employer in the city, and we always, in every place we develop, we don't bring outside help. We always, we employ from within the community, and that's what we'll also have to do here. Thank you.
One question, stand up so everybody can hear. I heard you talk about the existing restaurant in Wall Street, and you're going to be restoring that restaurant, so basically have the same views out of the park.
Yeah.
Because you're saying I have memories of Blue Cross Street too, and that was a beautiful place to eat and hang out.
We will be we'll design potentially a little bit new look for the restaurant, but it's going to be exactly the same layout with the outdoor seating, the indoor seating, with the views of the park, and that's nothing's going to change. Hopefully enhance for the last time.
Do you have a timeline on the project? Any sort of timeline?
Yeah, I mean, we're right now we're in the plan stage before submitting our, we're in the design stage. We'll be submitting designs within the next 60 days. And from that point, I have about a 6 to 7 month process of permit approvals, maybe 8-month process, and then our construction will be about 14 months.
So nothing happens for 8 months?
Nothing happens for 8 months as far as, no, lots of things happen, but we don't do any construction.
Anything?
Pre-development.
Nothing comes to those up.
Pre-development.
Just one comment, I live just a few buildings down. People are
People
going
stand
into
when they ask a
the
question, you can't hear.
People are going into the hotel, vagrants are getting in, doors are left open, windows are open. I call the police, the police tell me they can't do anything about it. We have to do something about it. The guard that was there for many, many years is not there anymore. And frequently people that live in my neighborhood tell me that they have been calling the police about people coming with bedrolls and going into that hotel.
Well, I don't, we constantly are going through the hotel. I've never seen that happen, but if you are concerned, I'll give you my number in our office, and it'd be much more helpful if you call us instead of telling me that. We're always
Thank you.
not interested in people breaking in and entering. We call the police and it hasn't happened in a while, but we try, we do secure the building, people break in.
Not 3 times the police have been called this week that I know of from other people that live in my neighborhood because people are getting into that.
Well, the police, it's very unusual on not contacting us.
Yeah, before they took over the hotel, there used to be a security guard there. He used to come on duty every day. What happened to him?
Well, the security, because they had a person working there at that time, because they were still planning the plane stage and selling the hotel. So we really don't have a security guard because there's nothing there other than that building.
8 months before construction?
But if you took over the property, why don't you have a security protector?
Because we do secure the property. That's
My question is, why is the city of Lake Worth almost promoting all the vagrants and bringing them into our neighborhood? I mean, we didn't ask for them. You're suffering the same thing we're all suffering. We're all suffering that.
Yeah, we'll look into, please let me know, when the police are called, and we'll definitely give it, we secure anytime somebody breaks in. And haven't had a break-in, but we will in a while, but
And
The property is very littered, there's lots of trash, lots of graffiti, and you're not keeping up with being over there graffiti and picking up the trash, and I'd like to see that happen.
This is probably part of the incentive that we want to have. We want to develop this as fast as possible. You know, it's not our interest to continue to hold on to a building that's empty. It costs us money every day. We want to get through the process, and we are going through the process. And this is the process that we have to go through. There's a regulatory process with the city. I have to submit plans. I have to wait, go through
And
it.
in the meantime, you can keep it.
Oh, we do keep this thing.
No.
Why can't you just hire a security guard? What's the big deal?
We'll look into that.
It's not a good answer. That's not a good answer.
Steve,
Yes,
thank you for coming. Moving forward,
No, he hasn't answered.
I did answer. I said I will look into it.
Steve, thank you for coming.
Oh, they can't stop.
Steve, thank you for coming. Every great hotel has like, you know, a medium-sized room for like bar mitzvahs and weddings. Will the Gulf
We
Stream
will
have
a-
something like that?
We will have a ballroom space, we'll have meeting space. That is being designed now. Yes, thank you.
Excellent.
I think maybe it would help if you could clarify for some of the people that 6 to 8 month period of time before you begin construction is not you sitting doing nothing. It is the time that the city actually has to review the plans, approve the plans, and that is not your control, but the city's. Is that not right?
That is correct.
Thank you.
We trust the regulatory process that we have. Yes?
What is the relationship between the hotel and your proposal for Project on the Beach? Is a hotel viable without a conference center or something along those lines?
Is our hotel is viable without it? Yes. And the relationship, it's the same entity.
That's the relationship?
That's submitted with the city and ITN, same entity.
But in a business development sense, there's the viability of the hotel.
The viability of the hotel is still viable, yes.
With or without the beach club?
With or without, it may be a little different in the design of the second stage, the second structure. But yeah, it's still viable.
In the paper, there was a story that you're building a 3-story garage. Also in the same story, it's about a 65-foot tall structure. It didn't say what that structure was.
So the structure is going to be another building. And we're building everything based on the guidelines of the code.
What kind of building?
We have designing it. We're designing it now. The use of it, we're also designing it now. Partially a hotel, maybe partially apartments. I don't know.
But it's more of a building, not a structure.
It is a structure.
Right.
I mean, it's a structure. Yeah, I don't know what you're asking.
It didn't, all it said was a 65-foot structure.
First of all, I gotta clarify, I don't write the article, and the article is inaccurate, then
Well,
I
that's
can't,
what I'm asking.
I don't know what was written, but we are gonna build some structure on the empty lot to the west. I don't know exactly what that structure will be in terms of uses, but we're designing that out, and we're determining that.
Yeah, if I'm correct, because I'm down this for preservation.
Excuse me. I'm on the Historic Preservation Board. In December, we had a small presentation from city staff that described what was under phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, I believe, is what we're talking about here with the swimming pool, the roof garden, and the historic building restoration. And you're a lot farther along on this. This is actually a question. You're a lot farther along on this than you are on building on the empty lots. That's phase 2. Am I correct? Okay.
We're further along in the design of the hotel. We have the hotel design, but we don't have, and it's phase 1 and phase 2. It's not meant that we're phasing the construction, but it's our phasing of the design. And the design of the second building or structure is what we're doing now. And the use.
And that's part of the 8 months?
No, the 6 to 8 months is the process that we submit our plans. The city goes through a review process at multiple levels, so there's no preservation, and planning and zoning, building department, state commission. So we go through that process. If it was a 4-month process of review, then we would be starting 4 months into this. If it's 7 months, it's 7 months. It's out of our control, as somebody pointed out, and we're very professional doing this. We do it quite a bit, and not only do it in ground up or adaptive reuse of buildings. So we're very efficient at getting it done quick and designing it quick. We have many teams, so we will do it as fast as possible. It's not our intention to have this hotel not open every day that we don't have it open. Costs us money, so we want to have a vibrant asset that starts bringing some vibrancy to the city, to the area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand up, please.
Please stand.
I can't. I'm not. My question is, are you going to build anything under the beach itself?
I'm sorry?
The beach itself? Are you going to build anything under the beach itself?
I can't answer that because we're in an ITN process. There's 2 things that we've submitted, like everybody else has submitted. There are city commissioners that I see that are here, so there's a cone of silence that would prohibit me from talking and them to hear anything. So I can't really say anything other than we're in a commission. Yes.
Hi, when did you take ownership of the building? Because, I don't know, I'm just getting confused about how long you've actually had it. I
think
don't
May,
remember.
in May of last year.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you say that it will take 6 to 8 months for the city to approve your plan.
Yeah.
And that's the way you work. When do you plan on giving the plans for phase 1 of the hotel to the city?
We're giving the plans for not phase 1, but for, there is no phase 1 and phase 2. We can't do anything to the structures that are on the empty lot until we have a design for that land. But phase 1 and phase 2 will be submitted at the same time, and it'll be about 60 days.
When do you plan on giving the?
Approximately 60 days from today.
For phase 1 and phase 2?
Correct.
And you can't do anything on the hotel until you finish the plans for phase 2?
I think that's correct.
So, in other words, you will have, in 6 weeks, you will have plans for 60 days. You will have plans for phase 1, the hotel, and phase 2, the other building.
Well, at least as far as submitting for the initial site plan, yes. There's a process. It's submitting for the initial site plan, which is, that has to be approved. And then when it's approved, we'll submit for construction permits, the full construction. So,
So, in other words, you're not doing anything for the existing hotel
we cannot, no.
until you do the plans for phase 1.
Correct, we cannot.
That place has been vacant. We moved here 10 years ago. It was open for maybe 6 or 7 months while when we first moved here. It's been closed ever since. So you have patience. They're working as best they can to deal with everything, but I think it's going through the right process. Everybody's going to have a chance, but I'm interested in terms of the fact that it's been sitting there for so long and doing nothing. Now you have an opportunity for this building to come into being. So I would appreciate really good constructive questions about timing, but also about what else can the city do to help to make this project happen. Because it's really important to downtown to me. A lot of businesses will benefit greatly. Because I can tell you what, even for days last resort, that place took a tremendous hit when that place closed. And so did some of the other businesses in town. So I just wanted to say that we closed a long time, just a little bit longer for the lights to turn back on, I think.
Our intention is every development, every city, is again, to bring the best project that we can. And hopefully it creates jobs, it creates economic benefit, it has many trickle-down benefits. Economic benefits that you can't measure, to countless businesses in a number of cities around the country. We have projects that are not the largest, one of the largest projects in the community, in the city, and it's the same, we take big risks to create great products. And we take a lot of risks to create great products and great developments and great partnerships, and in all times, we always have, and we always will. So have a little patience. We're developing, we're doing two things. We're doing a very delicate historic renovation and preservation of a landmark building, which has to take precedent before anything else. Before building a hotel, before designing a hotel, it has to be preserved in the right way, which is not easy, and not many developers do this. We're probably arguably the largest historic adaptive reuse developer in the country, and it's because we're willing to take on that element of risk and that element of detail, instead of just doing away with all of those requirements and saying we'll just build what we want to build, we'll redo what we want to do, we'll gut the whole building and design something that works better but doesn't preserve the history. That's not what we do. We do just the opposite. We first preserve the history, then we design the hotel and build the hotel.
The previous developer who came in and wanted to develop the Gulfstream property did not have this historic intent. All they wanted to do was meet city requirements for historic preservation. City requirements do not care about the interior of the building, and to a certain degree, some of the finer details of exactly how you restore the building. And I think I just answered the question. Sorry, but and this is a lot of extra work for you to do. I understand the process. I do it professionally, and a lot of people here may not realize that when you're going for your grants from the National